So now I'm going to the second type of question, just from a strategy point of view of what is possible on Google Class. These simple quizzes are possible. You can upload an image as a question. When you're doing multiple choice questions, even each option can be an image, right? So if you're asking somebody to select the correct circuit diagram, you can have the circuit diagram as option. So a lot of variety in options are there. However, when we talk about auto grading a quiz which has multiple parts, right? Or say I want to give partial marks to certain students for certain answers, and I want to cut marks if they make mistakes somewhere in the step. But manually, this is okay. Manually, this is totally possible. And you can do that on Google Forms separately, right? That is why we do not release the grade immediately. We do it after a manual review. So you can do that manually. But if I want, again, if I have a very large class and I want to auto grade this process, how to do that? So here is just one very short example of a very small model question that I've created just to present this strategy. So suppose this is the question, right? Given the op-amp circuit shown in figure 1, I need the students to obtain the upper and lower threshold. So members who are not from engineering can ignore the idea, but like just ignore the topic, but just focus on the strategy. Right? So I want students to obtain two numbers. That is the final solution. Obtain the upper and the lower threshold of this characteristic. Some assumptions have to be taken, and some basis is given, like what is the supply voltage is given. And I've kept this for 6 marks, just for example. Normally this would be of a 3 or 4 marks, but why I have done so, that also I'll explain. So this is the circuit which is given. So what is the objective? Finding upper and lower thresholds. Now, if this was a paper solution, right? If this was being done in person, then what would be an ideal solution for me? I would want the students to write what should be the possible output voltage, and if this thing they have correctly identified, I would have given them 1 mark, even if the rest of the question was wrong. Then dividing this solution into different steps. So with the assumption for case 1, they draw this kind of a circuit and they identify that, okay, one diode will be open, one diode will be short, and then they would write what is the upper threshold voltage. Fine. This would have landed them 1 more mark here and 2 more marks for correctly writing the upper threshold. This is an ideal case when they would have been writing on paper, right, as a theoretical question. Then second case, when output is -10, this would happen, and then this would be the lower threshold voltage, and I would give them 2 marks. So what is the possibility of losing marks? So this is how, for example, I want to divide a 6-mark questions into individual steps, right? 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this, 2 marks for this. Now, what I also want is that it should not happen that just because a student got this first part incorrect, right? Because it's tricky sometimes, because people who are from electrical might understand that normally op-amp voltages are like plus and minus 14. So, and students have this really bad reputation of not reading the question carefully. So they may, misread this particular part and then still say कि नहीं output तो -14 and +14 होता है. They might miss this part, but they know the correct approach. They know what to do next. They solve everything correctly after that. So in a normal quiz, what would happen if this is wrong? Then it's difficult to penalize them for just this one step, right? So what I want to do here is that it's okay if they get this wrong, right? But if they get this wrong, I know that for a fact that all their future answers will also be wrong, because they will be wrong because this 10 volt and -10 volt is used in every subpart, right? So just because they made a mistake here, all their subsequent subparts will also come out to be wrong. But I don't want to penalize them for that. I don't want them to get 0 just because of this one tiny mistake in first step. But like how in a subjective question, I would give them some marks for partial marks for steps, I want to do the same here also. So how to do that? using Google Forms. That is what I'm trying to demonstrate here. So I have a flowchart here, very simple flowchart. So say part 1, if it is done, which carries 1 mark, if it is done correctly, very good. Part 2 still carries 1 mark. If it is done correctly, very good. Part 3 carries 2 marks, and so on, right? But if part 1 is done incorrectly, for part 1 the student should get 0, right? Part 2 may be unrelated, so I can still give it 1 mark, fine. If they do it correctly, okay, part 3. But because the path that they are coming from, the answer of part 3 will actually be wrong. The answer that they would calculate based on say 14 volts, it will be wrong answer, right? But the approach that they would have used would be correct. So how do I partially give them marks? So what I want is that the answer should be adaptive in the sense that if this is the path which is being taken, then part 3 carries only 1 mark. But when otherwise part 3 was carrying 2 marks. Here again, if it is incorrect, then you just leave the form and you give 0, because basically you don't know how to solve the question, right? So there's no point still continuing to give partial marks. So I hope the scenario that I'm trying to explain makes sense. If it's clear to everyone, the scenario that I'm trying to paint for you. I want the student, even if the first step is wrong, I want the student to still be able to get marks if the solution is correct based on some expression or some logic. But just because the subsequent parts depend on the answer of previous part, it should not happen that just because previous part is wrong, they get 0 in all such questions. So this is what I want to do. This is the kind of question I want. So now how to do this? So I go to a model question. Okay. And this is where we can make use of I'm still using radio buttons. That means it is still multiple choice questions, but I will be making use of this option. Let it load for a second. I hope I'm still connected.
Yes.
I am, right?
Yes.
Okay. This quiz is taking a little too long to load. Okay, while it is loading, I'll continue to speak. The option that we are trying to use here is basing the next question to be based on the previous answer. So it's the same type, so multiple choice question. I've put it for 1 mark, I've made the circuit. And now if you look at the options, you see that we would go to these 3 dots, right? And we select this option of go to section based on answer. Meaning selecting one particular option can lead to a different second question, and giving a different answer can lead to a separate second question. So depending on what you select here, that is where the next question will appear. That is how the next question will be decided. So I'm choosing the option of go to section based on answer. So what I want to do here is that, so what I've done here is I've made use of sections. In Google Forms, there is this option of adding section, right? So I've made different paths for different types of answers that student might give. So what was my objective? That it's if he's writing +10 and -10, very good. Go to section 2, right? This is the correct answer. Go to section 2. Go to section 2. Section 2 says when V0 is 10 volts. So section 2 is basically designed from the point of view if the student said output is 10 volt, then what should be the answer? Here, if the student gives the correct answer, so for each radio button I have selected, based on how many sections I've created, the radio button can be used to select which section should this go to next. So if the person selects section 1, go to section 4. For all these options, section 4, because this was the correct path, if you remember. Correct answer is 10 volt. What happens if the student says, in the first part itself, the student says, selects the option of -14, plus and -14. Okay? This is the second option. which is the wrong answer, but I still want to give the student a chance. So in that case, I say go to section 3. Section 3 is what? This is section 3, where the question is the same, right? But I've just rewritten it from the point of view of 14 volt. So the student does not realize that he has made a mistake, or he is going in the wrong direction, or he has got 0 on 6 for that matter. No, student is still solving it. I've got the same kind of options, and now I've defined the path. Go to section 5. What is section 5? Note that this is the wrong path on which student is treading, right? He has already made a mistake in the first path, but if he selects the correct answer here, next I wanted to go to section 5. What is section 5? Section 5 has, it asks certain question based on 14 volt, which is the wrong answer. But the difference now is that now this is part 3 basically, this carries 1 point. So I have already penalized the student. It no longer carries 2 marks. It now carries 1 mark. If the student was writing, if the student was going on the correct path, that means if he had chosen plus and minus 10, he would have gone to section 2, which was this. From section 2, getting the correct answer would have taken him or her to section 4, right? And in section 4, you notice that this question is of 2 points. Right? So correct, if the student was going on the correct path, first part carries 1 point, second part carries 1 point, and the third part carries 2 points. But if the student made a mistake in the first part itself, the form does not go out. He gets 0 points in the first part, okay, but then it goes to a different path based on his previous answer, and I'm penalizing him in the third step, where the question looks similar, but it is redesigned for his wrong answer, but it carries only 1 point. How this would help me? It would not help me if I had a small class, because making this kind of a path and flow chart takes a lot of time. But when you have a very large class, that time auto grading this partial marking will significantly help. Here you can ignore this total points because this is including all sections, right? In a normal Google quiz, this total, because all questions are compulsory, all sections are compulsory, and they have to go through it. So it adds up all those points. So there, this shows the actual weightage of the quiz or total marks of the quiz. Here it is not showing the total marks. My total marks are 6, right? But because I have made multiple parts, it is showing me 9. But my total points here are 8. But because it is taking different parts, it is showing me 9. So this is what I wanted to show for an adaptive question which can be auto-graded. Of course, for a very large class, this may be useful. For a small class, you may prefer to do it manually. So this was auto-graded adaptive question using Google Form, particularly using the feature of go to section based on previous answer. Right? So please explore this. Start with simple questions, and you may end up with a better strategy for simple questions where you want to auto grade, but you want to give partial marks.